Hey guys, it's Nicole, and we have finally made it to the last episode of the monthly celebration scrapbook series here on YouTube. I collaborated all year long with Grace Tolman here on YouTube, and here I'm sharing 3 of my favorite layouts that she made this year, and I have plans to sort of scrap lift or use her sketches later on next year sometime. And not very surprising, the ones that I was gravitated towards that she did used full-size photos and sort of wallpapered across a layout with those full-size photos. So I am excited to print these out and use the sketches and these layouts for inspiration next year, and I'm so happy that she decided to do this series with me all year long. So as always, be sure to check the description box below. There will be a link to her video and her blog post as well. So be sure to check those out, and if you haven't subscribed to her already, I would encourage you to do so, because she has this amazing habit of coming up with instructive type of videos, and she does these like mini series like based on using your scraps or putting kits together and stuff like that, and it's just very inspirational and very amazing. Can't say enough great things about Grace. For my layout this month, I am going to do the traditional photo with Santa, and I am using one of the free sketches from the Create magazine. I'm still sort of slowly working through those sketches because I wanted to sort of challenge myself to do them all at some point. So, and I believe I showed at the beginning of the video, I want to say it's a 2014 sketch for sure, but I can't remember what month. I wasn't paying attention when I started the voiceover. And I've done this sketch at least once before, because I remember doing it when the sketch first came out, and the following issue is when they do the readers gallery, where you could send them a picture of a layout that you had done with the free sketch provided in the previous magazine. And the one that I had done before, they published in the readers gallery for the following issue, so that was kind of cool. And the last time I had done this sketch, I believe it was a family photo, and it was fall themed, so it was kind of fun to sort of make another layout with the same sketch but still have them sort of be different. And I stuck very heavily to the sketch. I didn't really deviate much until it came down to probably the embellishments, and that's pretty common for me because typically by that point I kind of want to just get it done, and I tend to just do my own thing. For whatever reason, the embellishments is not the fun part for me. For me, the fun part is, I think, what's boring for other people, and it's picking out the papers and cutting the papers and sort of doing your base of your layout. To me, I know it's boring, but to me that's like the fun part. So by the time I get to the embellishment, I'm just kind of like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just going to kind of wing it. And I did go ahead and ink the edges of everything, mostly just because I was using different papers from different lines, and some of them were bright white, some of them were cream colored. So I just decided to go ahead and ink everything in Distress ink. And then here I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for a background, so I just pulled out 2 options, put my 3x4 cards on there to figure out which one I liked better. And so I ended up going with this darker brown wood grain, and both papers were from that. It's a collection from Simple Stories where you have 12 different wood grains, and then on the opposite side is 12 different sort of ledger and notebook prints. So probably hands down my absolute favorite pack of paper. And I'm being really good, and I'm not hoarding it. I'm actually using it. Although I've been using it as backgrounds, which, yeah, it looks good, but then on the other hand, you can't really stretch it out across a couple layouts and kind of get a good use out of it. But it's one of those packs that if I see it again online, I'll probably go ahead and pick up another one, just because to me that's like my go-to. Those are my basics. Those are what I like to mix and match with. So that's what I go with. I noticed lately that I was reaching a lot for white textured cardstock, and so today I just was like, no, I need to I got to do something else. Like, I don't want to just put this on white. I want to do something a little more interesting, a little bit more fun. And I felt like with all the different Christmas patterns, I needed something that was going to kind of read more as a solid. So to me, that's kind of a wood grain. And then the sketch called for a 4x6 photo, but I'm going to go ahead and use a 5x7. But now that I'm editing this video, my photo may actually be closer to a 4x6 now, because I think that red frame that the mall puts on your photo counts towards the 5x7. But I didn't measure, like I'm sure you saw earlier. I couldn't find my ruler when I was lining up my 3x4 cards, so I just used a piece of cardstock to kind of do that. So my photo is probably a little bit smaller than a 5x7. And what I love about their sketches is I could have very easily have done more than just one photo. For me, when I was quickly going through the sketches and matching stuff up, I remembered that I had not done any of our photos with Santa, so I just decided, you know what, that is one of the few events or few things where I only really have one photo. So I decided to just follow the sketch closely with that. I think if I were to do this sketch again, I would probably maybe stretch it into like a 2-page layout and keep those 3x4 cards sort of going off to the right, and then you could almost take those 3x4 areas and print your photos a little bit smaller and kind of have almost like mini pages on each card. Or I could have done a couple 3x5s and just had them sort of staggered across the bottom. So many different things that you can do with their sketches. A couple years ago on the forums that I'm a member of, we all worked through one of the other classes that they have at Scrapbook Generation. It was, I think it was Photo Arrangement Replay. If you don't have that class yet, I would seriously look into it, because prior to taking that class, when I would look at a sketch, I would get so frustrated because for whatever reason, like I just was having a hard time making them my own and feeling like I had to follow them exactly. And after I took that class, I sort of was able to separate background elements from the way that the photos are arranged and sort of switch things out or see different ways that you can go with a sketch. So hands down, that was probably one of my favorite products that I've ever bought from them, because now taking that mentality to anybody else's sketch or their sketchbooks or sketches that come in their kits and stuff like that, it's, for whatever reason, it made it easier for me to, I guess, adapt to the sketches and kind of change them up the way that I need them to be, or the way that I want them to be. Excuse me. Anyways, back to my layout. At this point, I went through and just grabbed different letter stickers that I had in my stash. I had a bunch of different Simple Stories Christmas stickers and whatnot already out from a previous layout that I had done. So I just went ahead and used those red glitter stickers for the words, photos, and Santa. And then I dug through my stash and found some little like block style letters. And the block style letters I went ahead and popped up on foam adhesive just to make it a little bit more interesting and less flat as far as where the photo is, or I mean the title. And then again, I'm following the sketch pretty closely. So I had a couple scraps of paper that were already sort of in the size that I wanted them to be for the banners. So I just went with that, and then I cut a third one using one of the patterns that I had made a 3x4 card with. And then I'm just taking all these various stickers and stuff that I had pulled out and embellishing wherever I feel like looks good. The sketch varied a little bit. They had shown like hand stitching going across the banners and like a fun sort of string banner underneath the photo and stuff like that. I, for whatever reason, just was not feeling that. I wanted quick and easy, done. So I knew I was not going to be stitching. I didn't really have any sort of long, skinny elements or stickers that I felt like I could have used. So I will typically just kind of look at the areas that they've embellished and do my own version. And then my journaling, I just typed it up into strips, and I'm going to go ahead and ink the strips with brown distress ink as well, just so that they don't sort of stand out and look different. And that is pretty much it for my layout. I'll have a photo of the completed layout and a couple close-ups here at the end. I just wanted to go ahead and say thank you for those of you that have followed this series throughout the year, and I look forward to new content in 2018, and feel free to leave me a comment below on what you got out of the series for the year, or what you thought. So I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!